that I'm going to talk about are going to be about conspiracy movement itself, how it started, because I feel like there's some. I mean, I've seen people start to ask this question, and it's not been asked very much. Are conspiracies part of the conspiracy? I'll get into that in a bit. So let me just go through some decodes for you. As you know, it says here, Martin Luther King, on April 4th, 1967, he denounced the Vietnam War. Then on April 4th, 1968, he was killed. What's interesting about those speeches on 4/4 in Gematria, the practice of coding numbers into words, goes all the way back to Kabbalah, because it's all the Kabbalah script, letters and numbers. The word kill equals 44. Now it might mean that he was killed on 4/4, but as I often say now, these people are just characters on a stage. So he probably died, but not the person himself, just a character. So that's my take on that. Let me go to. Yes, I want to cover this one as well. Taiwan had its earthquake. It happened a few days ago. I know the media has been saying about how much it was on the Richter scale, but I seen one report saying it was 7.7. It had the strongest earthquake of 25 years. 25 years, huh? 25 years. Death equals 25. And Japan lists tsunami warnings, but not been a tsunami, but it's where the world is going. And someone did point out to me that, doesn't countries in the East have earthquakes regularly? It's like, yeah, that's true, but it seems to be happening at a specific time, because time is key to these people who carry out these events by the numbers. Because for them, time is basically the planet Saturn. For them is the keeper of time, because it's all Saturnian. These people, they believe in Saturn being the keeper of time. Saturn, with the ring around it, like all the rings. So, what's interesting about this earthquake? It does connect to the earthquake that we had in Japan on the 1st of January on 1/1. And speaking of Saturn, this earthquake that happened on the 2nd of April in Taiwan happened 93 days after the earthquake in Japan. 93 days apart, the Japanese earthquake and Taiwan earthquake. And the Taiwan earthquake happens on the 93rd day of the year. 93 and 93. 3 months and 2 days. Earthquake's 44. Harp is 44. Killed is 44. 7.7 on the Richter scale. Power is 77. Taiwan is 23. Hence the 3 months and 2 days. Earthquake 44, Harp 44, Kill 44. Saturn 93, as I mentioned about the planet Saturn. Saturn 42, because the earthquake again happened on the 2nd of April, 4/2 or 2/4. Death is 25. From Dr. Savage. He said, remember yesterday when I said I found a key for earthquake coding being 178? The Taiwan comes 178 days after the Hamas attack on Israel. Taiwan earthquake is 201 in the Francis-Bacon cipher. And also, again, it's all about the eclipse, right? it happens 1 week, 7 days till the solar eclipse in the United States of America. 1 week and 7 days. The word kill is 17. And this is from Zenith. Did you notice yesterday was the 93rd day of the year? And something about Alice Crowley with the number 93 for Lima. Hi, coffee girl. Hi, so nice to see you. I always like seeing you because every time I go in the chat, I always think who's the first person that's going to be there, but I always know that's going to be you. So you're always there. You've always been there. You've always been there to see my streams every single time. I probably said this before, but yeah, I appreciate you always coming, being the first person because you know. It's always nice to have people listen to what you're saying, taking an interest. So yeah, appreciate it. You're a sweetheart, coffee girl. You really are. So so yeah, that was the Taiwan earthquake. So there's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now at the moment. And then there's this story about Diddy, and here's Diddy with Donald Trump, and someone noticed that, oh look, Donald Trump is doing that triangle thing. I mean, I'll probably only mention about Diddy in a decode, but I'm just showing you some stuff here. Now I don't know if this whole thing is true or not, but I'm going to assume it is for the moment. This guy's saying that I'm betting that these countries, even though all these countries are ultimately in the club, right? Israel, Russia, China. He says, and I quote, I'm betting they have, I'm not going to read that out, on both of them, and the Netanyahu, Putin and Z have cooperation on both of them. Because Ashton Kutcher says he can't tell a lot about his relationship with Diddy, so what the hell is he hiding? He's in the news. I mean, people calling him the Black Jeffrey Epstein because of all the sex trafficking allegations. And interestingly, people have gone to Truth Social because it's like an alternative to Twitter. But then you discover Truth Social, I think, kept afloat by loans from a trust run by a Russian from St. Petersburg that owns a shady Caribbean bank that specializes in processing online payments for the porn industry. Again, there's no such thing as a quote-unquote independent outlet. If you see people create like an alternative to Twitter, also to YouTube. I mean, I discovered that Rumble's not independent either, even though Rumble does have some good channels on there, but nothing seems what it is. Oh, yes, yeah, coffee girl. I would love to, honestly, but I'm sure you know I'm in the UK. He's in, you guys are in America, so it's kind of hard for me to even try and what I'm trying to say. It's hard for me to try even join around the same time as him, because my time and American time are often in conflict, so it's very hard for me. Maybe one day I will, but I just can't do it at the moment. It's just a bit hectic for me. Yeah, I appreciate the suggestion, Joe. Suggestion though. Yeah, Cody's great. He does great decodes. Yeah, time difference. Yeah, it's always the case. He's doing great work. He puts a lot of work in. Okay, I'm going to read you a book. Okay, let me go to my Kindle app. I've got my heater on. I hope it's not like louder than my voice, because I hope you can hear me fine. Yeah. Okay. Alright, this is from a book called The Synchromistic by Dan Barrett. I'm sure you know who Dan Barrett is. He's a Gematria decoder. He has a channel on YouTube. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, The Synchromistic, the understanding of words and letters. I want to read this out. It highlights what I was going to speak about the conspiracy being the conspiracy. Conspiracies being the conspiracy. Basically, how the conspiracy movement came about and what's the purpose behind it. While conspiracies tell us what's really going on, ultimately, is it really going to inform us what's really going on, or they just got... So I feel like many people in the truth movement, I'm not just talking about Gematria generally, but many people generally, if you're talking about Alex Jones, David Icke, Joe Rogan, Russell Brand, Stu Peters, I mean, there's a lot of people, they all push certain ideologies. I mean, the one that I notice they push is the idea of Christ consciousness, where anyone can become Christ or Christed, you know. I think Bill Cooper spoke about that as well. I might play a video of that eventually, but let me just get through this. The date 9/11 is one that many people remember for years, although most people still believe the events were because of Al-Qaeda terrorists. It did some with what awakened small number of minds to tyranny in the world and our government. The problem I see with 9/11, though, is that as most people don't realise it was purposely made for them to question the narrative. Now, this is what I call a deep dive, where it's going to why these events made us question what happened. The cabal made sure that many things didn't make sense to create a culture of control conspiracy theorists. I think it goes all the way back to the 50s, where that's when conspiracy culture first really became mainstream, before it was a fringe thing. All right, not mainstream in the sense that the media knew about it, but it started gaining steam, is what I'm trying to say. When I say controlled, says Dan Barrett, I mean they've created conspiracies on purpose so they can control what conspiracies they want to believe. So they got no problem if you. I mean, it's like with the moon landings. I noticed the moon landings is often spoken about because I think a lot of people believe it was faked anyway, and I totally agree it was faked. But again, it's all about manipulating you into believing that it was. And if you knew it was, it's not going to lead to any major change, right? I mean, he points out it started many years ago before 9/11, and the one like JFK and aliens. Again, aliens was always been a psyop anyway. The idea that you got aliens from outer space, little green men, but that invading this planet, and UFOs. So 9/11 and the rise of technology really ramped up the progress. Yeah, 2001. Obviously, the internet took off. Obviously, the internet was around before that, but it didn't. But then it just took off. Yeah, and it gained a lot of steam. Because you had the 9/11 truth movement, which in my opinion was controlled from the get-go, because all it was, it became like a debate on endlessly about what the hell caused this house to come down, because people kept arguing. No, it was this theory that made it down. It was controlled demolition. No, it was thermite. No, it was mini nukes. No, it was directed energy weapons. No, it just kept being. I mean, if they just came to the agreement that it was carried out by a group of people and not argue about the science too much, then I think more and more people would have been like, yes, 9/11 was an inside job. But unfortunately, people didn't go that way. They just kept arguing. Anyway, I digress. The reason they have done this is the same as I explained before. The people were divided. It's all controlled information. So you got mainstream media, and you got controlled truth, a phrase that someone on YouTube used. Industry Hooks Review used that word, controlled truth, because I believe that's the case, right? Let me just turn my heater off. I think my car's warm enough. I'll just trim it down a bit. Yeah. A recent example is a controlled flat earth movement. The only authentic way a person would find out the Earth is flat by building a rocket scene for themselves. This will never happen because the general public does not have the funds or the knowledge to build a rocket, hence the control. If the media gives us a story of a person doing doing this, it will be a controlled story to further the agenda. Now and again, the flat Earth. I mean, I do get the whole question of questioning the shape of the Earth. I do. At the same time, I mean, people who are flat Earthers, they gotta ask, why is it that Netflix had a documentary about the flat Earth? Why is it on Amazon Prime? It's called Beyond the Curve, I think it is the name of the documentary, the flat Earth documentary. Why was it that on British television they spoke with flat Earthers? And why is it that the chief proponent of flat Earth, particularly Eric Dubay, he harbors a Luciferian New Age ideology? Again, just talking about earlier, it's clear that this whole Luciferian New Age agenda is prominent among the truth movement. Not trying to say you specifically, Coffee Girl, anyone. It's just that among true speakers, right? Because they say things like, we can be like Christ or be God, that kind of thing, which again is a bit flimsy, because that's what the Luciferian doctrine is, or the Gnostic or Luciferian doctrine, that you can ascend beyond man. I hope I'm making sense, because it's an idea that's constantly pushed. I see it when I'm in apps like Clubhouse and Twitter Space and other places and social media. They just push this idea. If the media gives a story of a person who's doing this, it will be a controlled story to further the agenda. However, in saying this, it doesn't mean that I don't believe in the possibility of aliens on the Earth being flat. I'm just saying these conspiracies are created with a magical person behind them. This is one of the main reasons I'm writing this book, because I don't think many truth seekers understand this point. That is true. Many truth seekers seem to think the answer to tyranny is violence. I wouldn't say many do. Some might do. They think we should storm capital places like Washington and Vatican. They aren't thinking clearly. If the cabal could control us with magic and understand how everything works, don't you think a physical act would be irrelevant? I think the solution is to get as many people as possible to see this magic truly exists, which in turn will stop the control. After enough people are free from the spell. Now this is key, free from the spell. I'll get into that. Let me just finish this. We need to learn how to apply this knowledge for the world greater good. Before I move on to Gematria now, I want to point out one more of control conspiracy thought. Many think the government trying to take your guns away, so we won't fight back when the shit hits the fan. They claim the fake school shooters and other shooters all lead to gun control. While this may be the case, the end goal isn't to control the population by taking the guns away. They control the population, so taking the guns away. Sorry, I'm being too fast. Let me slow down. Sorry about that. They already control the population, so taking the guns away isn't stopping anything. The conspiracy that they are trying to take our guns away is just keeping people enslaved in the thought that politics and government actually exist. I like that. I like that phrase. So again, people are getting again. If you protest something and you're trying to put pressure on your Congress or your Parliament to do something or not to do something, then you're still in the Matrix. Is what I'm seeing here. I've been saying this for years, that this control conspiracy movement is seemingly building up to create more type of revolution. But just know, if a revolution does happen, it's purposeful to the agenda that's being played out. For example, if this global system were to fall tomorrow, you know what will fill the vacuum? It would be Donald Trump's and his the so-called anti-globalist bloc. They would fill the gap, and then we would enter a new age of people believing in that they can become God or Christed. But basically, all that is really is you're playing into the hands of the devil. Obviously, I don't want to get too biblical here. Obviously, I'm a follower of religion, of the Islamic religion, but I'm just trying to get to you that these people are very clever how they do this, right? You reject one evil, but then you are knowingly going to accept another evil that's masquerading as the solution. problem relaxing solution, dialectic deception. It's like the evil and dark forces are creating two dialectics here. So you got the satanic New World Order, and then you got the Luciferian New Age or global awakening happening. Okay, I'm just going to get off this now. Hey, Bronze Power, how are you, mate? Yes, did you guys catch any of that? I want your thoughts, because I always enjoy hearing your thoughts. So that I don't know about you. I've not seen not many people do like a deep dive into the conspiracy movement, because that to me is a very, very important topic. We gotta ask ourselves, why is it that these conspiracies are often okay? All right, we know 9/11 was conspiracy. We know JFK was conspiracy. We know the mass shootings are staged. We know that, but then why is it that? Why are they pushed or spoken about? Is it are we waking up to what's going on, or are we being manipulated into waking up, but then we end up accepting the wrong outcome? Like, we end up sending the wrong solution, which is what I fear is what is happening. We're going to accept the wrong solutions. That's what I'm getting at. Actually, I'll go back here. Oh, I just want to read something here. The American Revolution wasn't about gaining independence from Great Britain. It was about making people believe they weren't controlled anymore. Again, that's key to understand. This is how they keep us under control. This is a pattern that I've seen with in the Soviet Union, where they supposedly collapsed and gave independence to all the former Soviet colonies or satellite states. But I've always been of the opinion that they never got independent. They just remained under control of the New World Order, because that's what it was in that episode. Same thing with British Empire and European powers. They left all these lands, Africa, South America, Middle East, but they're still controlled by the globalist elite, because that's who was running the British Empire and the European empires and the Soviet Union. Again, same thing. Arab Spring. People thought they were getting democracy, but it was just keeping you in the system. Because you're never going to we're never going to be free if we see through the script, because people don't see the script. They see through the script because it's a script, right? It's the same thing with January 6th. You know, after Biden became president, the J6 event where they stormed the Capitol. Again, it's staged. I constantly tell people it was a staged event. It was not organic. Almost every revolution, at least going back to the French Revolution, they are all staged, managed events. They're not about freeing you from a tyranny. They're all about replacing one form of tyranny, and you end up with another form of tyranny. And the tyranny can be under the guise of democracy. Like in France, they were under a monarchy for several centuries, but then the French revolted and just finally got rid of the monarchy and became a secular republic. Again, all manipulation. The only way to start a real revolution is to make enough people realize this and not follow a planned agenda. That's what it is, a planned agenda. And when I hear people say, "Oh, there's a fight going on. It's the globalists versus the anti-globalists," I'm sorry, but you're getting played. I'm going to use that word again. The global elite. They control all sides, just like a guy on YouTube. You remember Coffee Girl was playing that video from iPet Goat 2 from Israel Diego Rivera. You remember that video, right? He was saying that he's got some other video where he says they control all sides. That's how they control you. They control all sides to get a specific outcome. It's a pattern that constantly is getting played out, but people can't see through it. Start a real revolution to make people realize this and not follow a planned agenda. Okay, I'm not gonna. Alright, there are a number of people, Alex Jones, I mentioned Alex Jones, who are part of the controlled group being used to guide this group of people. Donald Trump is another perfect example to further my point. They're creating a culture of conspiracy theorists. We've seen it with COVID. We've seen a rise of the alt-right. And Trump's presidency, a rise of the alt-right, where these people who supposed to be truth seekers are speaking against the CJAB, the VC. I'm using using shorter words because I don't want to get like a friggin' I don't want to get in trouble on YouTube, so I'm being very careful how I speak on that specific topic. It seems that every day the media tells us something about Trump believing conspiracy theories and how he thinks the news is fake. Whereas obviously the news is fake, the idea that Donald Trump is a good guy for calling out is a joke. He just following orders to move along the conspiracy culture that the cabal created and controls. Then QAnon, that's a different topic altogether. Believes Donald Trump is a savior, trying to take the cabal. Again, it pushes that we can stop the cabal with people voting. So this is what he did, Trump. In reality, the whole system is rigged, and Trump is another pawn for this job for the cabal's agenda. Another pawn doing this job for the cabal's agenda. Yeah, I'm gonna read. I like the comments here. I think that's the idea. They convince people that we have freedom, and that's why we have voting. They want us to depend on the system, thinking they can care about us while just trying to destroy us. Yeah, again, again. I mean, this is. I mean, yeah. I mean, this is why I did. This is why I like doing live streams, because you guys get it. You know, you do. Problem is, not enough people get it. People are in the state here where they are awake, but then somehow they got it in their head that, okay, we know the system's bad, but the solution is you got to participate. I always say to people, your vote does not matter. Your vote does not matter. I say it. Maybe it's repetitive. I mean, I'm not trying to force my idea on them. I'm just trying to tell them, look, yeah, okay, you know about the globalist conspiracy, you know about transhumanism, you know about 9/11, you know about chemtrails, you know about lot of popular conspiracy topics. You know about them, right? You do. But then you say, oh, by the way, let's vote. Let's vote. Again, I'm glad Dan wrote that book, Synchronistic. I'm glad he addressed that, because I think there's not enough people in the truth movement that are mentioning this about conspiracy movement being controlled, because it is controlled. They don't mention this fact, which is frustrating. Obviously, there's a reason why they don't mention it, because many of them are part of the control anyway, as I mentioned. It's really sad. Actually, there is something I want to show you, Coffee Girl. I don't know if you recognize these people, but I'm going to try my best to. All right, here's a little gallery, right? These are the people that we call these are so-called alternative media people. Here's Alex Jones, here's Russell Brand, here's agitators Candace Owens, here's Flynn, here's a Zuby in the purple background, here's Steve Bannon. Again, I've seen people praise him because he exposed to China, globalists again. I think that's Roseanne Barr there. Again, a mixture of people from different backgrounds. I believe that's Laura Loomer, whatever her name is. That's Lou Dobbs. Prager, that's Trump Jr. That's Naomi Wolf. This is Stu Peters. He's another popular figure. I don't know why his Twitter feeds appear on my Twitter. I don't follow this guy. I don't like this guy. Not a personal thing. It's just that I can't stand seeing people push bullshit. Quite frankly, because I think all we want ultimately is to be free from this control system. But unfortunately, they've got their ops, and these people are ops to misguide you, because that's what they're doing. I forget who that is, that lady with the earrings. I mean, that's the new generation of people. Here's another one. I mean, here's what it shows here. Elon Musk, Starlink, Neuralink, SpaceX, SpaceX, Tesla, Boring Company. Peter Thiel, he's a Bilderberger, and he was a funder of the Ron Paul movement. David Sachs, Local Rumble, Transhuman Genetics, Trump, Presidential Hopeful, Trump Media, Rumble Financing. I mentioned Rumble, didn't I? That are popular, excuse me, alternative to YouTube. Shapiro, the notorious Zionist. Friends of the IDF, Bob Shulman Fellowships, like Daily Wire, Rumble. I mentioned Daily Wire, The Blaze. Here's Robert Kennedy Jr. I forgot to mention him before. He's in the controlled opposition as well. One of his main funders is the Mellon family. The Mellon family, a wealthy, powerful family. Distracting you while venture capitalists usher in the Great Reset. Consider them They considered them the public relations department for billionaires' investment portfolios. The cross-promoting narrative network. Again, these people are shills, all of them. There's a guy that I mentioned once, Douglas Murray. He's a neocon and he's a Zionist. I mean, here's the thing: they'll put out some truth, but in the end, they will just mislead you. And here's you might know this, but Tulsi Gabbard, another popular figure because she was supposedly anti-war, even though she supports Israel. There's that's John Campbell. There's Naomi Wolf. Again, there's Tommy Robinson, another agent. This is what we're dealing with. The reason why people are not truly waking up because they're following the wrong people and not asking the right questions. As I mentioned, Alex Jones, Tucker Carlson, he's a big figure these days. Tucker Carlson, Joe Rogan, he did that Putin interview. So, as I was saying before, it's very frustrating, you know. This is the challenge we face. This is from Polly St. George. Way too many influencers get money for the narratives they push. Because that's what it's all about, really. They get Yeah. That's, you know what, I'm not going to hold it against you, Coffee Girl. It's not important that you don't know half of them. It's not. But they are there. I mean, I don't know all of them. The names I recognise are obvious to me, so I know them. Yes, that's what you're dealing with, is a network of disinformation people. But that's what you're dealing with. Because this is a challenge we face. Just notice of the Coffee Girl. Not a single one of them, not one, is going to ever speak about Gematria. Because for me, Gematria is the most important conspiracy to uncover. Because you will see through the script. But for some reason, no one wants to touch it. Nobody. Not even people like David Icke. You probably know. I mean, I mentioned him before. Like him, like this guy here, David Icke. He's not gonna. Yeah. He's not gonna push it. I mean, here he is on BBC. If this guy was for real, why the hell is he on BBC? And keep in mind, he used to work for the BBC. Another person I want to mention, this guy died a few years ago, but he but I gotta call a spade a spade. That's Jordan Maxwell. Yeah, I mean, I don't deny these people. What the hell happened there? I don't deny that he wrote a lot of books, and you know he put out good information. He really did. But then the same person I mentioned, Dan Barrett, this guy had a Facebook page, and Dan Barrett, Gematria, try to share Gematria, and this Facebook page, Jordan Maxwell's Facebook page, he blocked Dan Barrett from sharing Gematria. I don't know about you, but that is a total red flag. Not being able to share Gematria on someone's Facebook page. And by the way, that's not his real name, Jordan Maxwell. His real name is Russell Pine, but he calls himself Jordan Maxwell. And that name, Jordan Maxwell, is inspired by his idol, Helena Blavatsky, an occultist and Russian Satanist. Helena Blavatsky. Let me just check. Helena Blavatsky. Let me just put the name. Do you notice that thing she's doing with the hand? You've seen a lot of people do that. You've seen a lot. I don't know if you, Coffee Girl or anyone watching. I don't know if you've seen famous people do that. That, you know, that there's one here where she's got a finger below her face, neck, and one on the head. Her ideas are inspired a lot of the truth community. I mean, herself, she's a totally different topic altogether. Madame Blavatsky, she's a founder of the Theosophical Society. Her idea is theosophy. They say that some of her ideas, some of her so-called stuff that she did were fiction, but she pushed ideas that a lot of conspiracy people push. It says here she is the closely with the esoteric doctrines of Hermeticism and Neoplatonism. Sorry about that. Describe theosophy as a synthesis of science, religion, and philosophy, proclaiming that it was reviving ancient wisdom with underlying all the world's religions. Yeah, spread in India, theosophy. By the way, Gandhi was also adheres to theosophy. So again, she's a very important figure. I mean, they got the Blavatsky Lodge in London. I mean, look, she spread to Hindu and Buddhist ideas in the West, as well as Western ideas like Arosophy, Anthroposophy, and the New Age movement. So she's an important figure. Let me go to Jordan Maxwell. I wasn't gonna stay on. I was gonna be honest. Look, he got angry because he got called out as being a fan. Let me go here. Twitter. Let me go here. Yeah, he got angry for some reason. Well, it's in one of my YouTube videos. I do mention that he was. Oh, I hate these pop-ups. Although I won't play it, but basically he. Sorry, oh, sorry, what the hell? Got. Let me. I mean, he got angry. He was asked about. He's read her work and he endorsed her work in the past, but there's so much conspiracy out there about this. It isn't his real name. His real name is Russell Pine. He got his name Jordan Maxwell from Lavonska's work of character of emanation by the name of Jordan Maximus out of her writings, and she took the name. So his name Jordan Maxwell, which is not his real name, came from that woman. Jordan Maxwell is in the Illuminati, well, in the defamation network, to spread false information. So many videos expose him, and quite frankly, Jordan Maxwell has been seeing a lot of his work, and he's growing tired of it. So, basically, people were exposing him, and he obviously got angry over that. Because in the end, he's just pushing Satanism.